I never forget a fist. I don't mean it like that.
Sometimes you watch a movie trailer and get the complete opposite movie you were expecting. Like the first Suicide Squad, where the trailer made you think you'd be watching a semi-competent movie. The Fall Guy is one of them. Don't get me wrong, The Fall Guy is nowhere near Suicide Squad's cringe-inducing mania.
You don't want no beef? You don't want no beef?
No, The Fall Guy was made by competent people, but it slugs around in so many different genres it comes out soaking wet, but not with water.
Get it up, me Frost! Get it up! It's shit! It's shit!
Gosling's character in the film says, you lose the audience if there's too much going on. I agree with the Goss Dog. There is entirely too much going on with The Fall Guy. The film has no idea what genre it mainly wants to play in, and that creates all sorts of havoc for the rest of the movie. Ryan Gosling stars as Colt Severs, a stuntman who happens to be dating the camera operator, hoping to turn into a director, Jody, played by Emily Blunt. When a stunt goes wrong for Colt, he limps away from his career, and inexplicably away from Emily Blunt as well. 18 months after quitting the stunt profession and becoming a non-recreational valet driver at a Mexican restaurant, producer Hannah Waddingham in a wig contacts Colt to inform him that Jody is directing her first feature film and personally wanted him to join the production. Seeing this as a second chance with Jody, Colt takes the job and flies to Sydney, Australia, hoping to have some good old-fashioned "g'day mate" with her. Once the two meet face to face, it's clear that Jody didn't want him there at all. But before he could leave, producer Hannah Waddingham has a job for Colt. Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, Tom Ryder, is the lead actor in Jody's movie but has disappeared. The producer wants Colt to find him and bring him back before the studio cancels the film. And wouldn't you know it, the wig doesn't want the cops involved. I've seen many telegraph plot twists in my life, but this one is by far the telegraphiest.
Whack.
With Jody's dream on the line, Colt agrees. As the mystery surrounding the missing actor deepens, Colt finds himself within a sinister plot more dangerous than any stunt he's ever done. Yet the biggest stunt in The Fall Guy wasn't jumping a boat with Colt's hands behind his back, but the back-breaking effort in Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt's chemistry attempting to carry this entire fucking film. The movie's spine broke, and it's involuntarily crapping itself.
Oh, I crap myself again. You gotta be kidding me. A little bit got out. Oh, no.
The Fall Guy is a notable effort and an ode to the stunt men and women of Hollywood, a group of people who put their lives on the line just for us to be a little bit entertained. Director David Leitch was Brad Pitt's stunt double for the longest time, before moving to coordinating.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
Then producing. And ultimately directing. I thought Atomic Blonde was bad, Deadpool 2 was okay, but pleasantly surprised that Bullet Train was more fun than it had any right to be. With David Leitch at the helm, things looked like they were moving up as far as I was concerned. The Fall Guy seemed like it was going to be a grand slam touchdown, but instead it's more fucked up than a left-handed football bat, and it's due to mostly incompetent writing and directing. The film has no identity of its own, not knowing which genre it wants to tackle. And much like the saying goes, in pleasing everyone you please no one, trying to be every genre The Fall Guy can be, the entire movie suffers. Jokes linger far too long than they should, but I do have to say the comedy bits about Hollywood are just as funny as they are true. Yet, when it feels like it's commentary about the frivolous nature of the conversations that happen on set, much like Tropic Thunder, that element is dropped for the mystery of the disappearing shithead of a lead actor. When the audience finds itself getting slightly invested in the disappearance of Tom Ryder, this plot is sidestepped for shooting the actual movie, which is then dropped like a stuntman off a helicopter for the romance elements to happen. The entire film feels like 3 different screenplays jammed into one movie. As Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt do the best they can to present some sort of chemistry, their dialogue is boiled down to plot mechanics. Exposition and romance in the same scenes together? Well, allow me to puke. The action elements were the same. Not sure how they made a car chase with 2 men fighting in a dumpster being towed at 70 miles per hour boring, but you can find it here. Leitch tries to inject some humor during these fights. The jokes land just about as well as Colt did in the opening scene that broke his back. Secondary characters also add to the tone that's more off balance than the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Hannah Waddingham and Aaron Taylor Johnson overact in each scene they're in, while Gosling and Blunt stay relatively grounded, if not underplaying theirs. Winston Duke plays the level-headed stunt coordinator. There is some banter back and forth between his character and Colt. At least there was an attempt at banter. It's mostly quotes from other movies. When it comes for his time to shine in the action sun, he turns into a damn cartoon, naming various actors as his finishing moves. In fact, the violence in general gets more slapsticky than Leslie Nielsen picking up a quarter during a gunfight. Unlike the Naked Gun, the Fall Guy pulls its punches and always seems to take you out of the moment, always ready to say, we were just joshing you. The first fight scene of Colt's rescue mission is a perfect example of this. He's attacked by a woman wielding a sword. Colt tumbles everywhere to make sure he doesn't catch steel in his guts. At the climax, we find out it's a prop sword and the woman attacking him isn't an assassin trying to kill Colt. She's a failing actress and Tom Ryder's idiot girlfriend. It would have been better if she was an actress and an assassin. It could have opened up the Fall Guy to comedic paranoia, something we all know that is well within Gosling's range after The Nice Guys. Colt would have immediately realized he couldn't trust anyone on or off set as he continues to plunge himself into the gaping plot like the sexy carrot that he is. I have no idea what any of that means, but you get the picture. If the action is slower than old people fucking after the Early Bird special, then the romantic plotline in The Fall Guy is pure necrophilia. Don't get me wrong, I'd be committing testicular homicide if I said I was looking forward to the romantic element in any movie, but since there was an epic fail on this attempt, I have to talk about it. Sure, Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt have chemistry with each other, but all the charm in the world can't undo the sleep spell casted on the audience. Nothing that makes these two characters gravitate in a dangerous orbit set for a collision course. Their entire relationship is summed up within the movie they're working on. The totality of the fake script in The Fall Guy is a double entendre of their relationship.
That is the gayest thing I have ever heard.
Like I said, no fault to Gosling and Blunt for their performances. This is the fault of director David Leitch and screenwriter Drew Pearce, whose strong suits are somewhere very far away from the romance department. This is a remake of a classic TV show under the same name starring Lee Majors. Normally, I judge a movie solely on its foundations, but I was left wondering why Drew Pearce opted to make Colt the metaphor of the title of his own movie instead of a bounty hunter for hire when film work was slow. It's another one of his jokes he never lands. Get it? He's the Fall Guy. He falls down for a living, and he's going to take the fall for someone else. It's a double meaning and stuff.
I get it. It's very clever.
Understandably, there are far worse movies you can be spending your time with, but with two of the biggest stars in the world and a director on an upwards trajectory who has full knowledge of the craft that goes into stunts, this should have been one of the most exciting and fun action movies this year. Instead, it declines fast into the genre of blown opportunities. The trailer promised you an action comedy thrill ride. The only thing remotely close to that promise is your fight to not be the fall asleep guy. Get it? It's a double meaning and stuff. If you enjoyed this video, you go ahead and smash that like button. While you're done doing that, hit the subscribe button. And then, after that, share this with your friends, family, people you hate. Maybe you don't like my content and just want to waste somebody's time. Do it, share it. Thank you. It is much appreciated. I'm out of here.